So we are live. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Well done,
Good.
guys. Good evening to everybody tuning in for this live stream. My name is Emeka Nobis as usual, and I like to hold conversations. All right. So this is 6 p.m. Nigerian time, West African time, and I'm going to be having another conversation with another amazing individual. All right. So we're going to be looking at how to easily attract and build quality relationships with your target audience on social media. And with me, I have Morris with me today, this evening, to have this conversation. So you are welcome. Um, if you are joining us, please do let me know where you are tuning in from. Let's know where you are joining us from. If you are here in Nigeria, let's know your city where you are tuning in from so that I can say hello to you. All right. And if you join us, please do us a favor to share the live stream to your timeline so that other individuals can partake of the juiciness of this conversation. All right. So without wasting much time, um, let me make welcome Morris. Morris, I think Morris, you're in Benin right now, right? Or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I met you in
Still
Benin
there.
2 weeks ago. Good to have you here all the way from the city of Benin, Morris. Okay, so guys, social media plays a very important role in our lives, whether we know it or whether we accept it. For me, especially, I don't joke with social media. I mean, I use social media has been a great blessing to my life. And I believe that it should be a blessing to the lives of many other individuals. So today we are going to look at how to easily attract and build quality relationships with your target audience on social media. Morris tells me, he told me that he has like 10 points that he would like to share with us today, this evening. Okay, so Morris, you are welcome.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka Nobis.
Thank
Please, before we move on, can you help me with the link to this? Like, probably I could share with my audience. I
Okay,
don't know. Maybe you can drop it in the yeah.
the link to this to the let me see the link to the live stream. I have to get to my timeline to get it. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got it. So I don't know where do you want me to send it to your
Is there a way I
Facebook.
can get it? Okay, you can just send it to my Facebook.
Yeah, I've
I
sent it
think
to your
that'll be
Facebook
better. Yeah.
Messenger. Okay, so guys, let's go dive straight into it. So Maurice, I'm going to remove myself from the screen, and you will have the floor to share how to easily attract and build quality relationship with the audience on social media. Meanwhile, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please do let us know where you are tuning in from, and we will say hello to you. All right, go ahead, Maurice.
Okay, I'm coming. I just want to share it. Okay. Please let's hold on a moment. Okay. All right. I hope you can all hear me. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. Mekanobis. Thank you very much for this opportunity, bringing me up to your platform to share my knowledge on how you can actually attract and build quality relationship with your audience on social media. So, first of all, apologies. I have a notebook here that I'll be using to guide myself so that I don't go on extreme. So this is actually going to be guiding me on the points I'm going to be staying on. So just a formal introduction of myself once again. My name is Maurice Akpebe, and of course I'm a student of the University of Benin, currently studying computer engineering. And when we talk about in the online space, I am known to be a digital marketing strategist. So a bit of my story of how I got into the online space. It wasn't really like I didn't like social media at all at the beginning. That was like 2020. I didn't like social media. But fast forward to 2021. I was in my 200 level, and things were not easy as it's supposed to be. And one experience that actually made me to come on social media was when my dad bought my first phone. So it was in my 200 level that he bought my first phone for me. And if you are in this, if you grew up in the school hostel, you know how people actually easily steal things, and that was how they stole that phone from me. It was not even up to a
Morris,
month that
I
that
don't
phone
know,
was stolen.
your screen is frozen. I don't know why you're frozen.
Wow, wow, wow. Can you see me?
We can see you, but it's just frozen. I mean, I don't know.
All right, let
Can
me
you
turn off the and
okay, turn on again, but it's still
is it?
frozen.
Bye bye. Okay, let me remove.
Okay, Morris will be back again. I can see people who are tuning in. So I see Hope. Hope from okay, let me go. Dan Arubasa, all the way from Delta. James Etoro Bong, Jumoke, you're welcome. Hope Abis Onukuru, you're welcome. Ifoma Rita, you're welcome. Olayiwola Obianuju Eboyemi, you're welcome. Emeka Collins Chukwude, you're welcome. All right. He will click the link and he'll return back again. Let me get him back so that we can continue the conversation. Okay. Okay, let me get him back. Morris, go ahead.
Okay, I guess I'm no longer frozen.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So as I was saying, and that was how the first phone was stolen. And I called my dad, telling him my phone was stolen. Then I didn't have any knowledge about social media. I had not made any dime from social media. For the time I tried making money, it was actually scam. They scammed me of my 1.5. So this time around, I called my dad back and I told him my phone was stolen. I needed to study in school, and I was only using PDFs. We didn't have hard copy textbook, or we didn't buy rather. So my dad told me he does not have any money. And I'm the kind of guy that I don't like disturbing my mom for money. So I had to call my mom, and she was like, I don't have money, oh, but she was like, I borrowed 100K that she wanted to use for her business. And that was how she gave me 37,000 naira out of that money. And right from that day, I told myself that that same phone was going to, I was going to make more than times 10 of that same money with that same phone. So the Techno Camon 12 second-hand phone that I bought with 37,000 naira. And I am glad to share that right from then till now, I have made more than 20 times that money. Although I stopped using the phone last year, I had to buy another new phone, and even now I had to buy another new phone with this same social media. So whenever I hear Emeka Nobi is always talking about the power of social media, I also am a testimony. I know there are greater days ahead still coming. So there is a whole lot of advantage you can get if you can build quality relationship with your target audience, and if you can start building your brand on social media. And that's what I actually help people do in this space. So that's a brief story. And I started with one skill to another, learning how to sell. And today, by God's grace, I've sold product of over 2 million naira cumulatively in this same online space as an undergraduate. And one thing I always tell people is that everything is actually possible by the time you start having a mindset reset. So a lot of people think, social media I cannot do it too because I'm too young, or some people like I'm too old. But the thing is, it's just based on how you're actually thinking. If you can change that way of thinking, you see a whole lot of possibilities in this same social media. So let me not give you more stories again. Let's go right into it. So how can you easily attract and build quality relationship with your target audience? Number one, I'm going to first of all start with telling you that mindset affects your influence level in this space. I shared it some time ago in my timeline. I think it's either today or yesterday. I shared it, and I was saying I always listen to Miles Monroe, and he has had a very positive impact in my life. And I'm not talking about financial impact, I'm talking about mindset, rebranding the way I think. So if you have the wrong mindset about influence, the wrong mindset about social media, I tell you, you are not going to be able to build any brand, or you're not even going to be able to build any audience, talk more of building anything as quality relationship with them. So the first thing I want to tell you is that if you want to attract, if you want to build quality relationship with anybody, with your target audience on social media, irrespective of what you're selling, then first of all, you must have the right mindset about influence. A lot of people are always shy. They're like, oh, I am young. There's something that I'm kind of always shy of back then was my stature. I'm this small guy. All my friends are always laughing at me that Maurice, you're small. But when I started listening to Miles Moran, listening to other people, getting some online courses, it began to rebrand my mind entirely. And despite my stature, I know the level of people I've been able to connect with in this same space. So one thing I want to tell you is that if you want to attract and build quality relationship, you are not going to be building it with just the follower mindset. The person who always follows everybody on social media, you are not giving out anything. And it can be because of the fear that you think, oh, who am I to put out something out there? Who am I? That mindset, it's not going to work along with influencing people on social media positively. So the first thing I want you to know is that, like, you are enough. Yes, of course, you need to improve on yourself, but start from that point where you are. Reach, change that way of thinking, that way of, oh, do I think I have something quality that people are going to demand for? Or do I think if I should say something, people will listen to me? Why not say it out first and let us know if people will listen to you or not? The fear of not trying to start is what is actually holding a lot of people back from attracting people who could easily buy their products or building quality relationship with them. So I wanted to take that down first. Change your mindset about influence. Influence is not for some certain persons. Influence is for anybody. Just as Miles Moore, I will be mentioning Miles Moore in law because he has actually influenced my life. Yeah, he always says something that everybody can be a leader, everybody can actually become an influencer. Although we know that not everybody will become, but everybody has the potential, the ability, and the capacity to become an influencer. If you're following me, let me see your comments below, and you can also share some of the things you're actually learning. Then the number two thing that I also want to take note of is understanding your target audience. The topic states once again how to easily attract and build quality relationship with your target audience, not just with anybody. So if you don't understand these people, how are you going to build quality relationship with them? I'm going to be talking about the concept of content creation later, but I want to tell you something that I've always told my students and everybody. I've always said this in my content, always, almost every time, that the contact that you have with any and everybody on social media is your content. Now, if you don't understand that, let me explain again. Imagine Facebook, nobody posted anything on Facebook. How would you think? Would you even have Facebook app on your phone? You would definitely not have Facebook app. So the reason you're on Facebook, the reason you're on Twitter, the reason you're on Instagram is because of the content. It's not just because of the app. It's not even because you even know the creators of this platform, but because you know that if I should log into this app, I'm going to see something that someone else posts. So if you do not understand your target audience, you will not be able to post the thing that they are going to vibe with. And if nobody vibes with what you are posting, definitely you have nobody you are building any quality relationship with. You have nobody you are attracting to yourself. So if you want to attract people, these people are your target audience. You need to understand the way they think. You need to understand their problems. You need to understand what they are facing, what they are going through. And by the time you create things that will help them overcome those challenges or those fears that they're having, or give answers to those questions they are always having in their mind, that is when you're going to easily attract them to yourself. Okay. Then the number 3 point that I'm going to talk about is the research process to determine the way they think. That was from the other point that I talked about, that you should understand these people. because you don't just want to be creating anything randomly. You don't just want to be posting today, you post about writing, tomorrow you post about video creation, next tomorrow you post about something else. You're just posting random posts. And that was how I used to do like back then. Let's say in 2019 back. I joined Facebook 2016. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I just joined because everybody was joining Facebook. And I will tell you that if you actually want to build a profitable brand on this social media, you need to understand who you are speaking to. And that is what we call your target audience. And I'll give you a few things that you can check on to know these people. You need to understand their fears. You need to research about their fears. What do I mean by that? I'm in the digital marketing space. Okay, I'm a digital marketing strategist. What could be the fears of my potential client or my target audience? Their fears could be, okay, is it profitable to run adverts? Will it be profitable if I should start building on social media? That could be some of their fears. Some of their fears could be like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Is it not going to be stressful? So by the time I start creating content, answering those fears, answering those questions, it's going to be vibing with them. And that's how I'm going to attract them to myself. So by the time, it's not going to happen overnight, mind you. By the time you see one of my content, I'm teaching about, okay, why you should start running Facebook ads for your business, why you should start building a social media page, why you should start doing this and doing that. By the first time you may see, be like, okay, I think this guy had something that I need, but maybe you mistakenly forgot to follow me. The next time again, you see my content, you're like, oh, I think I've seen this guy before. And you read again, this thing still makes sense. You are actually, one day it's just going to come and you're like, I think I need to follow this guy to learn more from him. And that's how you attract people to yourself. Remember, as I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but with the consistent efforts, you meet this person today, you meet this person tomorrow, next tomorrow, and that's how they are going to start. You're going to start attracting these people to yourself. So one thing I would advise you to do is make a list of these things, the way your audience think, what they believe, their fears, and their desired results. Now, I'm going to hammer on this a lot. Result sells. You can write that down. Result sell. Result sell. And that's why most of the online courses, most of the people you have decided to work with, it's not necessarily because you know them very well, but because you've seen testimonials. By the time I post a testimonial of how my student did this, of how we were able to help social company to achieve XYZ with social media or with digital marketing, you're definitely going to be like, oh my gosh, I think I need to check that guy out. So that, why? Because I want that same result. So you can write this down. Your target audience, if you can help them solve that result through your content, you are going to attract where the relationship starts from. If I do not stop to even read your content, how am I going to be? How are you going to build a relationship with me? So leave how they think and the desired result. I think I've hammered on that in 4. I hope you're still following me, and I hope I'm not too fast. I'm just naturally fast, anyways. But the fourth thing I'm going to be talking about is why should they listen to you? Why should they listen to you? A lot of people make this mistake on social media. Target audience, you want to first of all understand, okay, if this person should see my content, why do and read all that I have, and eventually the person taps on my profile and start following me. Brand yourself well. If you are not positioned properly, nobody's going to listen to you. Now, I wrote something down that I want to share with you. It said, people always pay attention to those who they perceive as authority figure. You are paying attention to Emeka Nobis today because you perceive him as an authority. Now, key words I want you to note here is that pay attention. We are in the attention, is it attention era they call it, or we are trading, I think they call it attention arbitrage or something like that. Meaning, like, the person who gets the most attention now is the person who's actually going to be making the most money if you know how to channel it to the right source. So you watching me now is probably because, it may not even be because of me. It may not be because you saw Emeka Nobis on the flyer and you're like, okay, I think if Emeka Nobis could bring this guy to his platform, it means there's something valuable to learn from this guy. So let me just tune in. That's it. So if you cannot position yourself as as an authority figure, imagine, let's start. I love teaching about branding and positioning a lot. So let's imagine a maker novice. You just click on the maker's novice profile, and you are seeing one guy with just one random selfie as a profile picture. Like, I'm very sure that you probably don't want to click on that profile, but because it's well branded, you see the good looking profile pics, you see the cover photo, top notch designs, and everything. That is it. Those are some of the things that people perceive as making you an authority. And if you can incorporate this into your branding, yes, you are going to attract your target audience. You're going to build quality relationship with them. All right, I'll go to number 5 that I have here. Said understanding. Okay, I think I've actually talked about that. Understanding the concept of branding and how it help you attract your target audience. Now, the concept of branding is beyond positioning. Positioning is probably, oh, I put a good profile picture, I'm just trying to make you see me as an authority. But branding is you like selling an idea. I don't know how to pass it to you now. Okay, let's use the word like you are selling a story, a brand. There's an idea behind whatever you are posing. And let me use Emeka Nobis as an example once again. He's always sharing a story of how he wanted to start writing books, and a publishing company rejected his publications, and he had to struggle and worked upon himself. He's passing an idea to you, and you're like, once you just hear that, and you're like, wow, I think I'm passing through this same phase now. And I think if this guy could pass through this same phase successfully, it means if I just follow him, there's something worthy to learn from this guy. So share your story. I'm still going to be talking about that later, but for now, just know that branding is just beyond. It's not just about having, okay, I'm supposed to use a particular color for all my designs, I'm supposed to use a particular color for all my posts and all of that. It's beyond that. It's a perception you are passing to these people. It's even basically how you want them to think. Okay, so if you want to attract your audience, you have to begin to pass a message to them. You have to pass a message to them that you know that they will easily vibe with and will bring them to you. If you can't do that, that's when you'll be sharing something today, you share another thing tomorrow, next tomorrow, you're just sharing different things, and you're nowhere to be found because nobody's actually going to hold on to say, this guy, this is what we know him for. So you have to be known for something actually. Okay. Then the next point that I'm going to be talking about is uh now, how do you attract this target audience using the principle of attraction marketing? I think it was Dan Kennedy that talked about this principle sometime. And I've actually read one of his books, Attraction Marketing, too. So I'm going to be sharing the principle of attraction marketing with you. One of my Coach Kenny, will always say something that traffic goes in the direction of value. And I know you must have also heard these popular quotes: create valuable content, create valuable content. And it's still valid. You have to create valuable content. If you want to attract anybody, I've mentioned this earlier, that the only contact, I know most of you here probably follow me online, but you probably have not even met me physically. The only way you could have easily concluded that, oh, this guy is somebody worth following is what you are seeing me posting. So if you can post out valuable content, you are definitely going to attract people who are just like you. That's the people you actually want to work with, your target audience. So once again, using the principle of attraction marketing is giving out something worth of value to attract people to yourself. It's just like going to the river. Of course, I've not gone to fish any day. Although I grew up in the village, but my mom did allow me to go to the river anytime. But I understand the concept of actually fishing. You go with your fishing hook, and you put in the worm. Yeah, you put in the worm, put it in the water, and by the time these fishes start coming, by the time they start eating the worm, which is like the bait that you're giving to them, eventually you just attract them. Like, you catch them, and that is what the principle of attraction marketing is. So attraction marketing is about you putting out something there. Okay, let me use another word now: putting out a lead magnet. But you may actually conclude that, oh, lead magnet is only when you want to generate leads. But no, it's not just about generating leads. It's about putting out something that will attract. It's like putting out a magnet. I think Dan Kennedy's book was Magnetic Marketing, not Attraction. I just remember now. Putting out a magnet to magnet. I don't know if that's actually correct, but putting out something that will actually bring in people that you want to work with, that is your target audience. So attraction marketing still works, and the more you give out, the more people are going to come to you. I listened to Tony Robbins I think that was last year. There was one thing he said in one of his videos. He said, don't be tired of giving. That by the time, I know that this is a world where everybody wants to receive, but by the time you keep on giving, that you get to a point where people, it will just turn around and people will start giving back to you. So don't stop putting out those valuable content that helps your target audience related to you. By the time you put them out, that's how people will begin to share them. That's how people will begin to talk about you more. And that's how you grow and grow and grow. I'm going to go into the next point, which is consistency in content creation wins. Now, I know everybody always wants to blow up so easily. Even me, I like it. Like to go viral because I know, of course, I'm very loaded. I know what I'm doing and I know my onions, just as this guy will always call it. Emmanuel Akpebe. I know my onions, and I actually want to blow up and all of that. But you just have to be patient. Patience is key, and patient work hand in hand with consistency. If you are not patient, you will not be consistent. I've been doing this since 2021. Of course, I've been getting results, but I've not hit what is in my mind. Like I've not hit it. But if you should quit and be like, oh, because I've not hit it, because I'm not getting the engagement I want, because I'm not making the money, okay, I quit. Is that going to bring the money? No. Is that going to bring the engagement? Capital, no. So why quit because you're not getting the result? Instead, go back and check the process very well and remain consistent. Remain consistent. Lucky James will always hammer on consistency, and I really love what it does with that. So if you're not consistent, don't think you are just going to put out something and tomorrow it will just blow and all of that. If it blows, it will just blow for you unprepared. And when opportunity meets unpreparedness, it's just going to bring chaos. So if you don't need chaos, be consistent with what you're doing. Keep on growing, keep on putting it out there, keep on building. That's the magic bullet if you're looking for anyone. Okay, I'll move to the next point, which is be known for something and build authority on it. I will still go back to the same point that I've mentioned earlier, that content is the contact you have with your audience on social media. Content is the contact you have with your audience on social media. And the more consistency you are with a particular point you're always putting out there. Okay, I know a lot of you, just as I said earlier, you know me as a digital marketing strategist. How did you conclude that I'm a digital marketing strategist? It may not necessarily be I told you that, oh, I'm a digital marketing strategist, but because of what you always see me posting regularly, you eventually conclude that this guy, this is what he's doing. And of course, you can sell yourself by talking about the skills you're doing. But even without even doing that, by consistently putting out a particular message out there, people will conclude that this is what this guy is doing. Jesus Christ came to this world to save us. Yes, of course, he preached the message, but he was telling us something. He was always telling us something, and that is why you can also conclude that okay, this guy is the savior of the world. That's it. Okay, so put out your message and consistently put it out there. That's how you are going to constantly build this audience and build relationship with them. Okay, I'm moving to the next point, which is how do you build quality relationship with your existing audience so that they can refer you, That's something that was in the flyer also, and I had to put it here. You must understand that before someone can refer you, now I'm giving you the principle of someone referring you now. Before someone can refer you, it means that person has actually trusted your brand. So I can't come and refer you just because I see that you are doing something, but because I've seen that, okay, this guy actually does something and I've seen that he has results in this. Like, for example, I think last week, that was earlier this month, someone referred me on a video editing job. I didn't know this guy at all. Like, I have never met him. When he sent me the message, I was like, okay, send me the number of the client, and that was how we exchanged contact. And I was eventually asking the guy, like, how did you get to know me? And how did you get to know that I do video editing? And that was how I was like, okay, I've actually seen your content. And I noticed that we were already friends, but I didn't even know that I know somebody like that. And that was how I got that job. And we delivered, sent everything. Client was happy. The person who referred was happy. And me too, I was happy. Of course, I got the cash. I was happy. So the principle of someone referring your business or your product is that the product must be trusted, because nobody wants to let their ego down. Because if I should refer you now, it's just going to be like, I'm doing this because Maury said he or she can do it. And I wouldn't want anybody to come back and be like, oh, you told me he's capable, and eventually he did something wrong. So if you want people to refer your business and your product on social media, even in real life, like offline, you have to have a great product. That's the number one thing. You need to have a great product and a great service. That is the number one principle. Now, another thing is you need to be authentic and genuine. Don't go and post screenshots or formulate screenshots that are not real. It doesn't really make sense. Don't do that, because eventually you may get over with it with the number one client, get over with it with the number two client. But once they're not saying you're not delivering on what you promised, nobody is going to send you again. Everybody's just, that's how people will just be drifting away from you, and it's going to be very, very bad that you start building something, and because of incompetence and putting things that are not real, people start to run away from you. And you know how bad that is. It's so terrible that when you do something wrong, it's get broadcasted very easily. Like, it's very easy for people to share that bad news than to share the good news. Yes, I believe you should actually know this. If you should do something, you are putting out good content, nobody may even share it. But let somebody just talk about something bad about you. That's when you see people coming. Ah, we've been saying it before. I know this guy. This guy, how he has always been doing. I've been suspecting him. I've always known that there is something behind all of this. So you have to guard your brand very well, because bad news, people love to share it more than good news. Yes, that's just the reality of life. And are you supposed to be sad with it? Oh, people share bad news. Why is life like this? No, you have to go with the and try to bring out the good news always, so that you don't give people the opportunity to share any bad news about you. So, and that's why you need to be authentic. Please be authentic. And by authenticity, I do not mean you should go and be carrying caricature pictures and posting it on your platform. That's trying to be authentic. You go and snap pictures in some kind of places that is not even building your personal brand very well. That's not the authenticity I'm talking about. I'm talking about your truthfulness in your content and in your results. Be authentic with that. I hope we are still following, and I hope I'm not too fast. Okay, so we're going to be moving to the next point. If you want people to refer your product or your service, your content must solve their problem. Yes, I've gotten a lot of testimonials from people always calling me and sending me messages. Maurice, thank you for what you always share. It has helped me achieve XYZ. Your free content, your free trainings, but your paid trainings, they have helped me achieve all of this. And that's the good news. And that's why people will easily refer you. So if your content is not helping them to solve a particular problem that they are facing, how then will they know that you are capable of doing this, of doing what you say you are going to do? So you have to show them, but I don't know how to say this again, but learn how to create content. Learn how to create good content, because if you know how to do that, I tell you, All of these that we are saying, you're going to achieve them for yourself. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is engage with your audience. When I started, I was this guy. I always wanted to get my results. I don't like social media before. Even till date, I still just do social media because I have to do it. Not that it's not like a passion or something. No, I have to just do it because I have to do it. Because I just feel like, oh, the time I'm going to be spending liking posts, reading comments, and all of that, I could just spend it reading my book or just reading something, or maybe watching a course, or just doing something indoors. Because I'm this guy, I can just stay in my house for the whole of the day and not even go out. But when you are building a brand, you're not building anything silently. If you are building something silently, then I'm sure you want to go back to your village, Abby. So when you are building your brand, you want to engage with these people also. Let it not be that they are the only people engaging with your posts. They should not be the only people engaging with your posts. You get it? So engage with their content. You know, one thing that is actually good about this, when you are someone of high value that they perceive to be someone of high value, and by the time you just make a comment on, maybe I don't know how to put it now, but these people who are following you, just make a comment on their post and like, wow, something, just something nice, and like, wow, you commented on my post, and they'll be so excited. So what stops you from putting that joy in the eyes of your in the eyes of your followers by just commenting on their content? Don't be the person that always scroll past and you're looking for the big accounts to always comment on. What stops you from commenting, from engaging with those who you call your followers, who you call the people you are helping to achieve XYZ? Vibe with them, engage with their content, and you see they will always look forward to engaging with your content. And I know, of course, if you have a lot of followers, you may not, of course, you are not going to be engaging with everybody. But by the time you log in, you just scroll and you're like, oh, this guy posted something that makes sense. Of course, comment on it, and you will put in a smile, and you will even be giving these people more joy to even push on. I think that's actually enough for that. And let me even share an experience that I had. So there was this time, I think that was around last year, beginning of last year, I was having a challenge with my engagement. This is a premium secret I'm giving to you. I was having a challenge with my engagement. And I had to do some consultation, watch some videos, learn some stuff. And I noticed that by the time you comment on other fellow creators or other people's content, the algorithm, I know we are always talking about Facebook algorithm, Twitter algorithm, all algorithm, you are saying they are not friendly. But by the time you engage with other people's content, it's like these people see that you engage with their content. And let me tell you, this is not even like algorithm hack or something. This is human psychology. By the time I engage with your content, you're like, wow, this guy just engaged with my content. But the next time you are going to see my own, you would just feel this. I don't know how to put it, but you just have this feeling like I have to like this post or I have to comment and say something. You just have that. I don't want to use. There's a particular word I'm supposed to use, but I've just forgotten the word. But you just have this feeling like let me reciprocate this love, and that's how others will want to comment on your content. But if you are this guy that's always scrolling, you're not always commenting. And mostly if you're even growing, you are just starting. I tell you, nobody nobody will want to engage with your own too. Because they're like every time you're going to pop up, you're going to pop up like a stranger in their face. Because of course I've not even seen any notification that you have even commented on my post or reacted any time. And I'm seeing your content, just like, who is this? You scroll past. And by the time I see another of my friend, maybe I see Rejoice Praise or I see somebody else that I know. I'll be like, oh, I know this person. What's he saying? That's it. So learn to engage with other people's content. It's not all about you. It's not all about you. That's just it basically. Engage with other people, interact with other people. It's called social media. Interact with other people. Okay. Then another point that I will also want to share. This is another premium point too. Personalization. Personalization. If you want to build a quality relationship with these people so that they can actually like refer your stuff and all of that, you must learn how to personalize your content. All these, hello guys, hey guys, that's not personalization. You are speaking to everybody. Everybody wants to feel special. And that's why this email stuff always work. Like by the time you just see an email and you're like, you may not even know that it's because you've given them your details, but your name and everything. So when you just see the email, hello, I think I can say Chinyere, Chinyere also. So let's say you submitted your email and details to me, and I send you an email like, hello, Chinyere. You may feel like, wow, by the time you first will see that personalization, you want to read the thing. Because why? Humans are always like selfish. It's reality. We always want something for ourselves first. And by the time you see that personalization, you're like, okay, what's this guy saying? And you want to check it out. And that's how people will even start building relationship with you. So with personalization, refrain from using all those hello guys, hey guys. Don't use that. It's even worse. Some people that do WhatsApp marketing, I see some people send broadcast messages and they're like, hello guys. I'm like, you're sending a personalized message to me on my DM and you're saying hello guys. Even if you're sending a broadcast message, don't do hello guys. Hi, hi there, what's up? Like, make it, let it be that I'm reading your stuff. Let me feel like, let that feeling of he is speaking to me be in the content. And with that, it will create more solid relationship with your audience. So I hope you are going to take that point. It's a very valuable point. John Obidi uses it. In fact, every guru in the marketing space that is actually getting results, they use this principle of personalization. Personalization. Don't speak to everybody, speak to one person. And if you don't know how to do that, you can go and learn how to do that. How to personalize for your messages, whatever you're sharing, even if you're sharing it in a WhatsApp group, learn to personalize it so that as I'm reading it, I'm having this feeling that this guy, this person is speaking to me. It works a lot. In fact, there was a time I sent, there was a time I started learning the principle and I sent a broadcast message a particular day. The person had to message me because the person knows that I do marketing, and the person had to message me. I'm like, is this a broadcast message or a normal chat? Because the way I sent that message, you would never know that it was even a broadcast message, except you're using other versions of WhatsApp that shows it's a broadcast message or something like that. But if you're using normal WhatsApp and you read that message, you will never know it was a broadcast message. Because why? It was personalized. So I hope you're going to take that serious and learn how to personalize messages for your audience in your content, in everything you are creating. And that does not mean all the other stuff, hey guys, all of that doesn't work. But I think personalization works better. Okay, then something else. Okay, now this is going to be the last point I'm going to be sharing, and probably if you have any question, I don't know if there's a time for question in this broadcast, but the last point I'm going to be sharing is encouraging them with your content. Yes, there are a lot of content you can actually create. You can create content that motivate people, that makes them see the future they want to become in the now. You can create content, of course, that position you as an authority. These are content that, of course, you shouldn't just create content, copy and paste other post content because you want to be an authority. You should become that authority in yourself. You should have the knowledge. You should have applied it. You should know that this thing is actually working, and you creating it is just like you bringing out what is in the inside out, and people saying, "I'm like, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's doing." So the last form of content I'm going to be sharing with you that you can easily use to build quality relationship with your audience is content that encourages them and shows them the big picture in you. Now, I'll end with this illustration of Emeka Nobis once again. You've heard him always share the story of how the first publishing he wanted to do didn't work out because he said he was not influential and he had to go and work on itself. And eventually, he's now the brand ambassador of a publishing house in Nigeria and he's publishing books and all that. What does that sense to you? It sense to you that if I'm a publisher or if I'm a writer and I want to become very big tomorrow and I'm facing some challenges today, with that story alone, you're gonna be like, okay, I think this thing is actually possible. So if a maker of it can do it, it means I can also do it. And you see some of the content he creates, it makes you to believe that okay, yeah, this thing is possible. It's not an impossible task. You can become a great writer. If you follow my content, also you still see me encouraging you with my content. But the place where some people make a mistake is they eventually turn motivational speakers. Of course, there's a need for motivational speakers, but if you know you are not in the online space to be a motivational speaker, I'm not saying motivational speaker is bad, but if you know that is not what you are focusing on, then all your content should not be based on motivation alone. Talk about what you are actually doing. And there's this lady that I actually always see that he does it very well, Elizabeth Samuel. Most of you should know her. I've always seen her content. I'm like, okay, she's either talking about one book that she's publishing, she's reviewing, or one project she's doing, and of course, she still shares content that encourages and shows our audience that okay, you can become more than you are now, and all of that. What does this do to people? It makes people believe more in themselves, and if you can make your audience believe more in themselves, they are eventually going to believe in you. And that's where we're going to be wrapping it for today. I hope you've learned a lot. In fact, I'm glad that this has come to reality, and I believe that you've actually learned a lot from this few points that I've shared on how you can easily attract and build quality relationship with your target audience on social media. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Sir Emeka Nobis. Are you still there? Hello. And if you should have any question, I think you can drop it in the
Wow. So
comment
technical is a
section
very
if you have any
important
question.
aspect
Yeah.
to whatever idea that you are
Hello, bro.
contemplating.
Good to have
So
you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
I'm
you.
even
important
doing
aspect
another live
to
session somewhere else. I mean, it's great.
be able to
Okay,
read out
guys, if there
and
are
see
questions,
the
please go ahead and
response.
ask your
So
questions
now,
now.
in regards to
All
public
right.
speaking,
If
if
there are
it's okay
questions that
for
you've
a
got that
young
you want to
or
ask
somebody
him,
who
go
said,
ahead.
I'm just
So,
starting out
So any
Maurice, I know you've
question?
taken that training.
is it
Can you
okay
share
for the
with
person to
me
actually
some of the
write
highlights and points that you
source
got during that
for
training that
maybe
has gotten you
network?
to the
Like, for
place where you are
example,
right now?
you're having
Okay, the how to
a
grow on social
meeting
media.
for the same people.
Okay, for that, the training on how to grow on social media. One thing I actually love about the training, first of all, is how concise the training is. Like straight to the point, hitting the nail. And I actually learned a lot from it, both reiterating on what I've actually been doing also, and some of the things that I've actually learned or that I relearned, like, okay, gain more firm belief in is the power of consistency. You can't just be posting once every week or once every 2 days and you just expect to grow like somebody who is posting every day. So, in building your audience on social media, you need to be consistent, and consistency is not going to bring the result overnight. Consistency is going to be building. There's this law, I can't remember the exact name for the law. I've forgotten the law now. But the law just talks about the little efforts you are taking daily is going to be stacking up, and that's what is going to bring the big results that you actually desire. And from that course, how to grow on social media, I actually learned about also how you can be authentic, and even how sharing your failures sometimes on social media can also make other people believe that okay, this guy is also human and he also experiences some of these things that we are experiencing. And that was one of the points I shared on encouraging your with your audience. And that can even be you encouraging them with your failure, telling them, oh, I was once like this, oh, I experienced something like this, but nevertheless, we move on. So it's a great course, and I recommend it to you if you are still struggling on going on social media. So any more questions? Hello, are you still there?
Yeah, Maurice, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear
Hold
me?
on.
Yeah, I can hear
You
you.
can ask your question now, or you send it
Okay,
in the
guys. So if you okay,
Yeah, you
guys.
can go on.
So if you can hear me, please go ahead and ask your questions in the comment section, and we will be able to.
Oh, okay. I guess it's either network or it's trying to do something.
If there are
Anyways,
questions, please go ahead.
it could happen, right? The dawn is actually having an event
Okay, Morris, I think there are no more questions that are coming up. I just want to say thank you to you for this great
and
session.
it starts with
People,
conversations
please
between
connect to
lovers
Morris,
and
connect to
right?
him. He's an amazing guy,
Very, very
so that he can help you also on your own journey.
very, very
Morris, thank you
key.
so much
Like
for
at
this
the
great
point
session that
of
we've got.
I know I'm not
God
talking
bless you
about
for
All
all
right,
the
thank
great
you,
work
sir.
that you're doing, amazing stuff that you're doing.
I can't hear your voice. I don't know if it's from my end.
Doing everyone. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. God bless you. All right, thank you, Morris. Goodbye.
Yeah, bye.